Oh, live. Okie dokie. I'll wait for someone to get it. Someone to show up. Okay. Well, now I just wait for people to show up, don't I? Let me try to fix this a little bit so it's a little bit light. Crap. I dropped water on my foot. But yes, this is, even though no one's watching right now, this is Discussing Video Games Live. It's like my Smash one I did a while back. It's going to be like, anyone that wants to come on, they can ask me questions. We discuss video games, what we're looking forward to the rest of this year, 2019. Maybe our favorite classic video games. Maybe questions you want to ask me about stuff, or I can ask you guys about stuff. So there you go. Let's discuss Video Games Live. I wonder how long it will take for me to get at least someone to view the video, to watch. I'll try to go for an hour if I can. Like, just anything. We can discuss anything video games. It's not going to be relegated to Smash like the last one. It's going to be, like, we can discuss anything video games. Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, third parties, your favorite classic games, gaming memories. You can ask me questions, whatever the heck else. Let's discuss video games live. Live! Let's do it live! On the Roku right now. Huh. Let's wait. Last time I got like, what, 6, 7 people watching me for Smash alone. Let's see how long it takes for me to get, and see if I can get anyone to view me with my Punisher shirt. But yeah, I'm gonna try and make this a thing, going live and having different topics. Like last time, let's discuss Smash Bros. Let's discuss video games. Maybe I'll do one eventually on anime, on wrestling, on comic books and stuff. So yeah, I am gonna try to make this a thing. Like, let's discuss live, and see if anyone. It took me a while to get at least someone viewing me last time. So let's see how long it takes for me to get a single view today. Because it took me a while to get one last time. Huh. That's the simplest thing I can probably do. Four minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Do something while I'm waiting. That's that. I think it's these two, if I remember correctly. Actually, I'm using these right now. I'll just do the research on the phone. No views yet. It has, I think, a lot. No views yet, and it's been 5 minutes. Should have a thing here to charge it in case. So yeah. Wait for someone to find me now. It'll be the snipingest fun hour of no one watching them. I could do that. I would totally do that. Ow. I hurt a little bit. See if anyone will watch me. Will anyone watch this? Going live, going live, going live. Sniping. Let's discuss video games live. It's been 10 minutes so far, and no one's popped up yet. I'll give it the 10-minute mark until I finally get someone in here. Yeah, that will help at least, so I can see discussions. So I can see the discussions the entire time. Makes more sense to do it like that than like last time. Getting a light right in my face. I'm hooked on a feeling that's so me. We can color that one tonight. I can do this one fairly well, actually. That's not gonna be hard. Let's see how long it takes for me to get someone to watch. Is this the drawing? Yeah, that's the actual drawing. Crap. Probably the original drawings. Nine minutes, no one's watching. 9 minutes, 9 minutes, 9 minutes. Took a while to get views the first time, so wouldn't be surprised. Like, start on this, because this is actually not that hard to picture the color. Once I get it started, so that's part of the hair color, hair. Want to actually see something video game related? There you go. It's Shantae in drawn out form, which I'm going to be coloring. So there's that. Oh, and there's another video game character I could show you actually. I haven't colored it yet. There you go. There's Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's see if even one person watches me. I'm cool with that. It's not like I'm looking for like a million. I'm looking for just someone. Someone to watch me. Yeah. Kylo Ren's like color, it probably look at least semi decent actually. Hooked on the feeling that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on the feeling. I'm high on believing. The song's stuck in my head now. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's Deku. I should have really. Yeah, I could probably fine tune around the eyes. Darken that a little too much. Hey, you want to see more superheroes? You got Shazam, Captain Marvel. Actually, once I color that, that actually probably would look pretty cool. And then we got Static. Let's discuss video games life. Let's discuss video games life. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, the yes, the yes. Yes. Two that are actually colored in so far. Want to see Bomberman? Look at that. It's a nice colored Bomberman. That is really, it turned out really good. But you want to know what turned out better? Freddy Krueger. Oh, there you go. Do 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 do. They actually surprised they actually have a British category specifically. They have a Latino category. Oh, color me impressed. I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling. I probably watch the Moon Crystal. It starts season 3 actually, instead of starting a completely new series. You know, Dustin soon. It's been 15 minutes and no one, not even one person has come in. My popularity on YouTube is nothing. Even though I have 643 subscribers and over 1,000 videos. Hey, YouTube. Yeah, I know. I know. Probably get started, get myself another table. I'm waiting. I just don't want to copyright stuff on TV. The music and the sound. It's taking me longer to get people viewing this time. I guess just video games in general mean nothing except for Smash Brothers. I don't want my Smash Brothers. That's all I know. Still no viewing people. Yeah, it's not a picture. Just waiting. Got to discuss video games. Someone's gonna. When I'm off screen, someone's gonna like pop in. Oh, where's this person at? Don't want to go into that cut. Sorry, I don't look at this sometimes. Shantar. Shantae, you idiot. Not Shantar. Hey, I found it. Is that a GIF? Yeah, it is a GIF. Hey, there you go. There's your video game reference. Dancing Shantae. Oh, one person's watching me now. I probably got one person. Hey. Yeah, this is just discussing video games live. It's like my Smash Brothers thing I did a few months back. If you want to discuss anything video games, questions, what you're looking forward to the rest of the year, next year. It's basically what this is about, just discussing video games in general, not just Smash Brothers, anything. Yep. Any question you like. Anything video games, anything Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, third parties, games you're looking forward to, your favorite games of all time. Asking me questions. It's just a big discussion. It's nothing in particular. Like what I do on Smash Brothers one. If you want to discuss anything, there you go. Put it right in the discussing below with the comments. $20 in so far. I had one person viewing, and so far no comments. Okay, I can dig it. Yeah, let's just go with that. Kind of getting a little awkward now. If someone's watching me and not even commenting, do they even know if they're watching me or what? And they leave. What was the point? You come in, you don't even comment. No offense to the person that was just here, but just saying this. I'm ready to discuss video games whenever someone shows up. Till then, I am drawing, coloring, whatever. I wonder if the person knew if he was watching me or she was watching me or not. That just felt weird. It's almost a half hour and no one's really been on here yet. Okay. Just drawing. Most random thing, but I got a view. I got one view. Even if they didn't do anything, I got one view. The light blue. hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that someone hopefully comes to discuss video games. Anything video games. Yellow, regular yellow. Regular yellow. So I can have a basis for this. The live homeless is going to be coming in here and be like, "What's he doing?" I'm drawing. Or should I say coloring in a picture I have of Shantae right there. So whenever someone wants to come in and discuss video games, we can. It's been about a half hour. I want at least one person to discuss with. Please. Please is all I'm asking for. One little video, one little discussion, one little something or other. It's 3 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. Where is it when you're at? Probably the same time. She's a tan, but I think I should kind of give her a little bit of beige in her skin to kind of give a basis. I'm hoping to feel I'm high on believing. Oh, there's no yellow thing I missed. No, it's purple. What? I don't remember that being purple. Will anyone come and watch me? It is a half hour in. There's definitely people who come in for Smash Bros. A lot quicker than this. It must be the topic, thumbnail, or my viewer count, or something. People of YouTube, more than likely, are watching me just sitting here drawing. Yay! That's fun. Hope you guys enjoy. It's nice, peaceful, and quiet. Maybe ASMR like. I don't know. Someone should hopefully be joining in eventually. I just want one person. It will make my day just to discuss with one person. One person. Just one person. Just one person even will make this worth it. And though that one person came in and just disappeared, like they didn't. I don't get it. Crap. I keep putting it where the eye is supposed to be going. Gotta erase that. That's not bad. It's not too dark. Not unerasable, at least. I don't have any views yet. I don't have any views yet. Of any views yet. Any views. Any views. Don't have any views yet. Let's discuss video game life. Let's discuss video game life. Put a little more purple into the hair. This is nice and relaxing. People probably watching me, although not any viewers yet, but YouTube probably has to be seeing this at least. And watching me drawing and talking to no one. One person would make my day. Just one. Darker yellow? Well, I'd have to be like a brownish at some point. So Oh, there's one person moving now. Yeah. Hello, whoever entered the live stream. This is just discussing video games. Any topic, you want any questions for me, anything you want me to ask you, discussing video games. It's like what I did months ago with the Smash Live thing, just anything video game wise. What games you're looking forward to, what games I'm looking forward to, asking me questions, stuff like that. And he left. Cool. Not like I wanted you here anyways. Yeah. Well, I got two people viewing me, at least at some point. That counts, right? And YouTube, that counts. Even if they didn't stick around, even though that one person stuck around and did nothing. It's creepy. Hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling. I don't know how we do that darker purple because I don't have any darker purples. It's basically just this. Should we just maybe put some black in the hair? For the dark ones, I mean, could I put gray, probably going down, and dark. Yeah, it might work. Then put some blue, maybe where the other hair is at. Dark red down there. That's purple. Where's that purple at? This is purple. And this is red. Mm-hmm. 40 minutes and I got 2 random visitors that never stayed. I should probably go get some. I get a pencil too on it. Where's the pencil at? Great. No views yet, but I get myself pencil. probably put some blue in the hair because it might bring out the purple. I wish I had more darker blue, not lighter blue. It will help bring out the purple, I think, a little bit if I put kind of darken it too much. This is just basically sniping fun draws for an hour, isn't it? That is what I should do a live video on. It doesn't matter if people watching it, just like, oh, watching the process of me drawing. Or coloring something even. I'm gonna do that. That is gonna happen, YouTube. I'm gonna be doing that. It's starting to look more blue now, but once I put the purple fully in there, it should turn out as good as I'm hoping it's going to. Nice and quiet. Nice and quiet. It's nice and quiet in here when you're not, you know. Is that part of the hair? Yeah, it is actually. Circle that. Is anyone gonna watch a live stream of me? I've gotten a few viewers, but no one stuck around. It's a nice relaxing time I can draw, so I win somehow. I need more light in here though. This is not a lot of light. Where's that blue? Probably gonna miss out. I can accentuate the eyes a little bit. I put a little bit of lighter blue up here. And then I can put some darker blue down. This is the blue, right? Here. Darker blue down here. And it makes the eyes pop a little bit more with the shading. And just blend it in with the normal blue. I think her eyes are done. What do you think, YouTube, so far? The eyes look pretty good. The mouth's not. I should probably do that next. Finish that off. Probably put a little bit of brown in the mouth. So I can darken it a little bit. And then put some more red in there. No one else has joined yet. No one else has joined. Where's the... Is that red? That is red. Red. Yeah, it's pink. That one's pink. dark. Okay, where's this brownish thing? I need to start kind of shading in part of the jewelry. No one is watching yet. No one, no one, no one. Been going for almost an hour and no one's been watching me. I need to put this and tone down the red on the tongue a little bit. Okay, I should probably use this to darken it in a little bit. so. Starting to see it come together a bit. Okay, let me probably put this in first. need more lighting in here. I wish I could put that thing in. It's over an hour. Whatever may be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. I am watching myself live. Ah, that hurt my ear. And it disappeared again. No. It disappeared on the thing. Is it watching me? No, it's not. Oh, I got my hopes up for nothing. Got 3 people technically now. Even though I cheated for one. Because that was my mom's account. Red, dark red. Okay, we're gonna erase. over an hour and I still don't have anyone watching. My phone's probably gonna die soon too. Might as well turn this off. Been going almost an hour and a half and got nobody really. Yeah, next time. I've had at least one or two before they got me nothing. Maybe it's the topic. Maybe I should be more specific. Or do a different time, really. Oh, there's someone watching me now. Hello, I'm sniping is fun. This is just a quick live video, even though I really haven't got too many people on it. Just discussing video games live. Any topic you want to talk about that deals with video games, like your favorite video games, what you're looking forward to, stuff like that. Just if you have any questions, I would love to have at least someone on here for real before I turn this thing off. So yeah, there you go. Wait, yeah. So, have you had Fire Emblem Awakening since it came out, and you're just playing it again, or is it you're like a person that's just playing it now? Like, how are you enjoying it so far? Oh, cool. Yeah, I've had it since it came out too. I just haven't played it in a while, but backlogs and stuff of my game collection. Yeah, haven't been back to it in a while. But yeah, it's certainly one of my favorite 3DS games as well. I think maybe top 5, maybe for sure. But I like most of the Fire Emblem games, so that's kind of a thing. I really like Path of Radiance. I love Awakening and Echoes. Radiant Dawn's cool as well. Looking forward to Three Houses. Fates is pretty cool. Sacred Stones, 7. Shadow Dragon's okay. I really wasn't that big a fan of Shadow Dragon. I don't know, but yeah, I wasn't really that big a fan of that one. What's your favorite unit in Awakening, or all Fire Emblem in general? But like, since you're playing Awakening right now, what's your favorite unit in that game? Who do you use the most? Fates, Destiny, the Fire Emblem series. So I take it you're not a fan of Fates? I mean, I'm not saying it's the best, but I think it gets hated a little too much. Oh, Varian was pretty. He's pretty cool. I remember using him quite a bit, but I'm trying to remember what units I use the most. It's been a while. I think I did for a while there, and I think a lot of people did. I heavily used Frederick until he became practically useless in that game. And trying to remember what's her name. Vike. I like using Vike a lot. I can't remember the other. Not Scarlet. I'm trying to think of what her name is. Early on in the game. But yeah, Varian, he does become quite useful if you really train him up. Everyone surpasses Frederick at some point, and he starts off the game as a beast, which most Fire Emblem games have a character like that, and then they become freaking useless later on. Oh, that's what you mean, Destiny wise. Yeah, I haven't played Destiny in a while, but yeah, Fates is fun. I have not played Revelations, which is the third one, which is the download only one, and I hear that one's pretty good. I've only ever played Birthright, and I owned it since it came out, and my backlog is big, and I have not got to that game yet. So, yes, I've not got to that. But Birthright was fun. I liked Birthright, even though that's the one everyone hates the most because it's like the easiest one of the bunch. But I thought the story was good. See, I'm not as much of a critic, I think, as a lot of Fire Emblem fans are. I like both the old and the new Fire Emblem. I'm not like, well, grinding is kind of what you need to do in most RPGs. Like what? Okay, you love grinding in RPGs. What other RPGs are you a fan of? Like what other RPGs do you like playing besides like Fire Emblem? That is true. Awakening isn't all that hard. Some of the later chapters in that game do kind of get a little bit challenging, but if you grind a whole heck of a lot, it's kind of a breeze at the end. But that's in general with any RPG, really. If you grind a whole lot, if you're given a chance to grind and you grind a whole lot, any RPG could be like pretty freaking easy, unless it's like status effect based crap, like all that status effects and like mastering how to do that, like in Persona and Shin Megami Tensei and everything. Then you have to really strategize, even if you are a freaking high level. Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Paper Mario, Symphony of the Night, Chrono Trigger. RPG is my favorite genre too, with fighting games being number two. Like I love those genres. It's kind of funny because those are two of the ones besides platformers and stuff that I pretty much grew up the most playing. I mean, I didn't really get into RPGs until like Pokemon came around, but I've been playing fighting games since like Street Fighter 2. But yeah, RPGs are like my favorite genre. I love Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy games. I love Tales. I'm really getting into Tales. I'm starting to get into Dragon Quest. Metroidvania games like Symphony of the Night are pretty cool. What other RPGs are out there? I have played Chrono Trigger. I played the DS version of that. I never when it came out on Super Nintendo. Really kind of too young to really get into RPGs. Even though I did play Mario RPG, I rented Mario RPG like back then. Even though I didn't really get it, I didn't really get the idea of RPGs. So I was a little bit older with Pokemon. You probably would like. I mean, I definitely think you would like Tales. Tales games usually do have really fun stories and characters, and the gameplay. It's not turn-based. It's more like an action RPG kind of thing, where you go into a battle and you move your units around and stuff. Well, somewhat move. You're on like a plane a little bit. Although later Tales games allow you to move around a little more freely, but it's like an action RPG kind of thing, but it's like in a turn-based style. Like you go into a battle, like how you do in a turn-based RPG, but you do it Mario RPG, Superstar Saga. Yeah. I never played too much of like the Mario RPG games, even though I own a couple of them. I put some time into them, but the RPGs I played like the most, Final Fantasy, Tales, Kingdom Hearts, Chrono Trigger. Um, I'm trying to get into Breath of Fire. I have the one on PS1, Breath of Fire 4, and I haven't been back to that game in like a year. But I started getting into Breath of Fire, and then there's obviously like Fire Emblem, and trying to think of other RPGs I'm really kind of been playing. finally going to be getting into Valkyria Chronicles because the 4th one just came out. I have to go pick up my Switch version of that. Have you ever played Valkyria Chronicles? It's kind of like a tactical kind of thing, like Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy Tactics, except you actually kind of move your units around. More so you have a little more control over them. Yeah, I never got around to them because around the time the first Valkyria Chronicles came out, I didn't have a PS3 at the time, and then when I got it, I could never find it, and then 3 was exclusive to the PSP in Japan, and I don't even know where the second one came in. Now 4th one's out, and well, gotta jump on the train at some point. And number 1 is now a downloadable game on Switch, so there you go. I can go get that too. I would love Travis Touchdown to be in Smash Brothers at all, DLC or base roster or otherwise. Like, he's my second most wanted third-party character right now. Now that we have the likes of Mega Man and Simon Belmont, my second most wanted third-party character is Travis Touchdown. My number 1 is Shantae, which is, if you're wondering what I was drawing here. But yeah, Shantae's my number 1. I've just been kind of getting into that series a lot lately, and for a while now, I'm kind of like the character and think she deserves it. But Travis Touchdown, yes, I do believe that because I love No More Heroes since it came out back on the Wii. I would love to see him get in. And Suda51 also wants to see him get in, and he's buddies with Sakurai, so maybe it's another Kojima situation at some point, I'm hoping. Would love to see Travis Touchdown, though. I can see Banjo-Kazooie. I do see them getting... There's more and more talk about Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, I would love to see him get in. I don't have as much nostalgia as some people, even though I grew up with the original Banjo-Kazooie. I never really played... Or was it 2? The original first one. I do think they deserve it because of their history with Rare and everything. But, yeah, I think there's a chance. There is a pretty good chance I think we might be able to see Banjo at some point. I'm hoping. Oh, crap. My phone is going... I've been on here so long, my phone is going down. I need to go get a charger. I'll be right back. There's no light in here. Perfect. I can dig it. Been on this stream for so long, the battery just goes and dies on my phone. Okay, I guess I'll do it like this, like I did last time. There we are. Perfect-ish. But yeah, Banjo-Kazooie would be cool. Pretty cool overall, just to be in Smash Brothers. Not my most wanted choice, like personal want, but one character I do truly feel deserves it at some point. There's characters I want, and there's characters I don't want, but there's characters that I don't want that I do feel deserve it. And Banjo is one of them, where he's not my most wanted, but he's certainly close enough to it. You know, he's certainly like someone I feel deserves it, at least. Most anticipated game in 2019. There's a few I'm looking forward to, but I'd say 3 that come to the top of my mind right now are Kingdom Hearts 3, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and that Daemon X Machina game. On top of, there's also the Metroid Prime 4 more likely next year. Oh, the new No More Heroes comes out next year too, doesn't it? And Resident Evil 2 Remake. Oh, I have a couple of games actually. Holy Jesus, what the hell? Everyone left. No! Did I lose connection with someone? Or did they lose connection or what? They just disappeared. Wait. Why does it say... Why does it say I have no one in the stream then? That's weird. Because right now it says 0. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is one of my most anticipated games, given that it's been freaking forever since we were supposed to have it. And all the trailers keep making it look so good. Either my stream is glitching out or something, or... Well, now it says 1. Maybe that's you. Isn't that weird? What, like... It's like it literally went from 2 down to 1. And down to 0. So... I don't get that. I don't know. Been going for an hour and a half and I've only... Wow, my battery died, pretty much. So... So what games are you looking forward to then? What 2019 releases are you really looking forward to? So probably just a YouTube glitch, I'm assuming. But yeah, like I was gonna say, what games in 2019 are you looking forward to? Like it's looking like it's going to be a good year, actually. Overall. Trying to remember what else is coming out next year. Oh yeah, that's when the Tales of Vesperia coming out too, their definitive edition for Switch and PS4 and whatnot. Yeah, I got that pre-ordered. What is that noise? Oh yeah, Talon's looking interesting. Last of Us 2 is looking pretty good. Resident Evil 2, obviously. The Yoshi game's looking pretty good. Fire, obviously. I want to see more of that. I want to see one of those new Fire Emblem Three Houses characters getting into Smash. That's what I want to see. Whoever they choose, they can choose one, but I want to see that game represented in Smash. I want to see that as a DLC character or something. That and the Generation 8 Pokemon. Yeah, it's the same choice I want. Axe and magic. Some female character that's not an Echo or just a gender option too. So yeah, it seems like she's going to be the most important of the three houses reps outside Byleth. I hope. So okay, we talked about 2019 games you're looking forward to, like we're all both looking forward to, and Smash and whatnot. Like, okay, let's talk about like maybe favorite games of all time, like classic games, or like maybe your first gaming memories, or something like that. That'd be kind of cool to maybe talk about. Like maybe like your first system you played, some earliest memories, favorite games of all time, kind of thing. Because for me, like my first system, my first gaming thing at all was the original Game Boy. And then the Super Nintendo came. So yeah, so for me, I believe Mario was probably one of my first games too, but I think it was either Tetris or it was Mario Land 1 or 2. Because I know my first system was the original Game Boy. But then I got a Super Nintendo shortly thereafter and played the likes of F-Zero and Mario World and whatnot. And then came the PlayStation, then the N64, the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance and stuff. Favorite NES game? Okay, for me personally, I didn't grow up on the NES. I played NES games over time, like, Virtual Console, and I own NES games now because of like the Retron and whatnot, but I've never owned an actual NES because that kind of came like, it's just kind of like a timing wise, like when I was born and like what game systems were out at the time and whatnot, like the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and everything. But I have played numerous games on it. I'd say probably like you, maybe Mario Brothers 3, probably maybe one of the Contras, or Mega Man 2. That one's always fun. Double Dragon is fun. The original Legend of Zelda. But yeah, Mario Brothers 3. It's probably between Mario Brothers 3, Super C, maybe. The original Legend of Zelda. What else was around that? Oh, jeez. Like I said, like my memories of NES games isn't really all that good. Like, especially ones that I've played. Star Tropics is pretty fun overall. Not one of my top ones though. But yeah, probably Mario Brothers 3 or 1. Okay, what has a... You mean like all AV Gen, like any system AV Gen wise? Or just NES? Okay, anything. Well, what has he recently covered? I'm trying to remember. Like a couple of the NES games I do probably own. Some of the I'm trying to remember like what he... I know I have some of the stuff he's covered. I'm just trying to remember what. Because I'm trying to remember some of the stuff he's covered actually. So yeah, maybe Mario Brothers 3. What was that? Mario Brothers 3 I know I owned. I know some of those games I probably rented at some point. I know I rented some of those Super Nintendo games he's talked about. I know I rented Superman 64. Yes, there you go. I remember renting that when I was younger. Oh, God, that game sucked. Oh, yeah, Batman Forever. Forgot he covered that game. Yeah, I remember renting that too. A lot of those games I rented, like the NES games, I kind of came around later with the like Virtual Console and friends and family that had the system. So most of the NES games he's covered, I probably never touched at some point or barely touched. But yeah, the Super Nintendo ones like Batman Forever and Superman 64, yeah, I definitely played some of those. But yeah, But yeah, like in terms of like my earliest system, it was pretty like the Game Boy and Super Nintendo, and it was like. Quick question for you: if you ever played the game Sunset Riders at all, it could be the Genesis version, Super Nintendo, or in the arcade, because that was like one of my favorite games growing up on the Super Nintendo. It's like Contra, but it's set in the Old West, and it was a really fun shoot 'em up type game. Have you ever played Contra? That's what I want to ask now. If you've played Contra and you like Contra, you probably would like Sunset Riders. Any kind of Contra. It's basically just Contra, but with Old West setting instead of aliens and robots and whatever the heck else they've done with that series. That one I would strongly recommend if you're looking for like an old like arcade Super Nintendo Genesis game that is just arcade based and like really fun, fast paced action and hard. Okay, then you would love. Yeah, you would love. Look out Sunset Riders. You can look it up on YouTube. It's really, really fun. I've never been able to beat it either because the last boss in it is insanely hard. But yes, that was one of my favorite games growing up. Was Sunset Riders. Zombies Ate My Neighbors was one of my favorite games growing up. Street Fighter 2, the original Street Fighter 2, not when they started doing like Turbo and all that stuff. I own the original, the one with just the original 8 characters. Mortal Kombat 2, and actually I owned all the Mortal Kombats at that point. Mario World, Mario All-Stars, F-Zero, I love it. I love the F-Zero series. I want to see that come back, but the original F-Zero was one of my favorite games back then. I didn't get into Legend of Zelda to the N64, so that I never experienced A Link to the Past when it originally came out. Kind of sad, really, because they're fucking awesome. No, I've rented Mythology Sub-Zero. I've never owned it. The only Mortal Kombat games I ever owned were the original 3. I owned 4 on the PS1 at some point, and I owned Deception and the DC game when it was Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Those are the only ones I ever owned. I've rented Deadly Alliance. I've rented Annihilation. And I haven't played the new one yet. But I remember renting the Mythologies game. If they tuned it a lot more, that game could have been something. But yeah, the game was really. I never played that Jax game either, the Special Ops one. Never played that, but that didn't look like anything special anyways. Favorite SNES game? It's between 4 choices. Street Fighter 2, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Sunset Riders, or Mario World. Or Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. That too. Those 5. That's probably my top 5 right there. And I've been kind of getting into UN Squadron lately. Yeah, I played Final Fantasy. Like that's the difference thing about here is I didn't get into Final Fantasy till like the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era. So the earlier Final Fantasies I played later on, but I never experienced them when they first came out. Like I said, RPG wise, I didn't really get into RPGs till Pokemon in the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era, GameCube and whatnot. And then I went back and I played stuff like Chrono Trigger and played Final Fantasies like 4, 2, 1, 6. Never played 5. 3 a little bit of. But like my first Final Fantasy was 9. That was the first one I ever played, like, or ever really, got into. And then I went back with 7 and 8. 10 was coming out, 10, 2, and then I went back and I played like those other ones. But yeah, my favorite games on Super Nintendo are basically like Sunset Riders, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, F-Zero, Street Fighter, and like Mario World. 9? Yeah, 9 is pretty awesome. 9 was a really good game. Yeah, that's about it for Super Nintendo. Trying to think. What about favorite N64 game? Because that is a tough one for me. That would be, oh geez, what would that one be? It'd probably more likely be Ocarina of Time or Mario Kart 64 or yeah. Well, yeah, Banjo-Kazooie, it wouldn't be my top one, but it would be maybe top 10-ish, 15. I definitely would say maybe Zelda, both Zeldas, Mario Kart 64, WCW versus NWO Revenge, WWF Mercy, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Wave Race 64, Excitebike 64. Trying to. Fighter's Destiny 2, Flying Dragon, which are two. Yeah, Donkey Kong 64 was pretty fun, too. What else has ends in 64? Surprisingly, since I'm such a big Bomberman fan, I'm surprised I never really played the Bomberman games on N64, besides one of them, and I'm trying to remember which one it is. It's either 64 or Hero. It's been a long time, I forgot. Because I used to love Super Bomberman on the Super Nintendo. That was probably one of my favorite games growing up, too, especially for multiplayer. Oh, yeah, I know. I own both of them. I own the 64 version and the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time. And I used to own, when they brought out the Master Quest one for the GameCube, when it had like Master Quest, like what was that around the time Wind Waker was coming out? The funny thing about that is I still have the case, but I have no idea what happened to the disc. And I don't know if it's because I misplaced it or if someone stole it. I really don't know. Oh, geez. But I still have the case to it, though. It's just empty with no disc in it. Wow, I'm almost been going for 2 hours. But yeah, I do have the 3DS version. I just haven't played it a whole lot recently. And I own the 3DS version of Majora's Mask too, but surprisingly enough, that's on my backlog list because I haven't played it at all yet. And I got it around the time the game came out. Yeah, my backlog list is long, really long. Everything. I have a long ass backlog list. There is a game for almost every system I own, and I own NES games, but not the NES. I own Sega Genesis games, but not the Sega Genesis because I have the Retron 3 for those. There's okay, so let's see backlog list. There's some Tales games I have to get to, like Tales of Xillia 2 and Zestiria. There is bunch of RPGs on PlayStation 1, stuff like Dino Crisis. We have to get back in the Mad World, and I have to get back into Sengoku Basara. The 3DS, I have to get back into the Fire Emblem games. I haven't played those a whole lot lately besides Echoes. And Pokemon Sun, and the Project Cross Zone games, and Codename Steam, DS. There's a crap ton of DS games. Like the Castlevania games on DS I have to get back into. Game Boy Advance I have to get back into. Advance Wars. I haven't played that a whole lot lately. And what else on PS3? There's a bunch. I can't remember. Like my backlog is long, and I don't mean it to be. It just kind of happens because when I play a game, I'm playing. Okay, I'm gonna play this, but then I have to go play this, but then I have a chance. Like there's life that gets in the way, and you have to go to work and do stuff, and it's just my free time is really kind of screwy lately. So I have to pick and choose my battles, and it just happens to screw around with the games I'm trying to play. But yeah, my backlog list, like almost every system I own, has at least 1 or 4 games I have to get back to playing. The Switch, I have to get back into playing Xenoblade 2. Yeah, I just have a long backlog list. It's sad, really, but gamers are kind of almost like that too. They have long lists and not enough time to get back to them sometimes. An all-time favorite game. Oh, that is a very, very tough question. It'd probably be a toss-up of a couple different games from a couple different systems, but I would say maybe the five battling for it the most are the first Kingdom Hearts, Sunset Riders, Metal Gear Solid 3, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, and Mario World, maybe, with Ocarina of Time kind of being in the two. But yeah, maybe top three would maybe be like Sunset Riders, the original Kingdom Hearts, and Metal Gear Solid 3, something like that. I loved Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid 3 is freaking awesome. I don't know why it just stuck around with me, even though I love the entire series. But that one really did stick. But the original Kingdom Hearts 2, because that was such a moment at the time too. Like, because I was just starting to really kind of get into the Square stuff, so like Final Fantasy and all the RPGs, and obviously growing up. Crash or Spyro? Oh, the memories I have playing both of those series when I was younger with my family and whatnot and friends. Game wise, probably Spyro. Oh no, wait, no, Crash. I'd probably say Crash because I played a lot more Crash, I think, than Spyro. Character wise, maybe Crash, but character wise, I'd say maybe Crash, and game wise, probably both. Because I played like all three Crash games growing up, and in Team Racing, the racing one. I never played Crash Bash, but Spyro Dragon, I played all of them too, but I never got around to beating the third one. But I played a crap ton of two. Especially with my cousins, like we played that like every time I go to their house and every time they came here, those were like almost always something we played was Spyro and Crash. We were obsessed with it. Okay, what about? Yeah, I don't think I ever got 100% because I never got around to getting like the last like. Try to remember when you go to after you beat Ripto and you have to go that extra level. I never got around to getting the 100% to get into that, and it irks me a lot because I forgot what I was missing or something was too challenging for me or something. I have no clue. It's been years. Okay, what about this? This question right here. What's your favorite multiplayer game of all time? Like something that's straight up just your favorite game to play multiplayer in. What about that? Because definitely it was, if I had to say for me, a lot of fighting games like Street Fighter growing up. Obviously, Smash Brothers, Melee, all were like two of the biggest ones I played multiplayer in. GoldenEye was pretty fun. Like all first-person shooters. Like I love playing Time Splitters 2. That's probably my favorite like multiplayer shooter, especially on virus mode. I went over to my friend's house. He had the GameCube. I brought the game over, and him and even his brothers just played that game for hours. Future Perfect 2 somewhat, but Time Splitters 2 especially. But a lot of fighting games, Mario Party, Mario Kart, different racing games like Burnout and Need for Speed. Wrestling games especially were a big one growing up with my family and friends. Like SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain and No Mercy and whatnot. SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. Halo. Oh yeah, Halo 2 especially, because that was a big first-person shooter game. My friends and family came over, and I even went over to their house and took a controller. So yeah, there's big multiplayer games back then. Kind of sad, really, that I haven't really done a whole lot of multiplayer. And it's kind of funny because like there's always talk about like the old Mario Party games and like the whole like thing with the tug of war or like those like the games that left marks on the hand and everything. But I was lucky to kind of not experience that, even though I played the original. I guess I never got into it as much as some people did. Or the first one at least, because I mostly have memories of playing 2 and 3. I didn't play a whole lot of 1. And that's the only one that had the problem with it, right? Was, the issues with the games like that, right? So I'm trying to remember now. So I mostly played 2 and 3. And didn't play a whole lot of 1. and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all came out years later. Blowing into the mic. I played the DS one. I never really got into the DS one. I don't. Maybe it's because I didn't really have anyone else to play with, and Mario Party is a big multiplayer thing. But there was something about the DS one I liked it, and it's not like it was a bad game. It's just I never really got into it as much as like 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 8 to some extent. But really 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4. And I haven't played 9 or 10 at all. And I'm looking forward to Super Mario Party. But that's another thing is you have to find people to play with. And like everyone that I know of, friends and family, are busy. And there's no online in it. And that hurts a lot. Yeah, it was. But that was a Wii U game I never got around to playing. Like my Wii U lineup, it's strange. Like it's like the Nintendo system I have the least amount of games for because my Switch collection has already bypassed it, but I never got into playing Mario Party 10 on it. But my Wii U was mostly Tokyo Mirage Session, Breath of the Wild, Bayonetta 1 and 2, the NES remix stuff. What else did I play in there? I said Zelda, right? No, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8. That was mostly what I was playing on like the Wii U. So I never got around to playing Mario Party 10, and I also never played Mario Party 9. Okay, so speaking of Mario Party, what's your favorite Mario Party of all time? Because I would say I probably have the one I have the most memories of is between 2 and 4, and then it's probably like 5, 3, and 8 kind of tied. But yeah, 2 and 4 are probably my earliest memories. Yeah, 4 was I don't know about 4. There's something I really liked about it, but there was something I was not that big a fan of. It's a weird mixed game for me. I don't know why. I think I have no idea what it is, but it's like I love it, but I'm not a big fan of it at the same time. It's like the only Mario Party game I'm that mixed on for some reason. And I don't know why. I can't really answer that question. But I love 2. I remember 3. I didn't have too many memories of 1, like I said. And 5 and 6 were like rental games, but I did like them. 5 more so. And 7 I remember renting. That's the one with the microphone, right? Was it 6 or 7 that had the microphone? Because I remember renting it from like Blockbuster and you got the microphone for the games. And then I remember renting 8 a few times. And then after that, whoosh, I haven't played one since. Okay, what's another question we could talk about? Okay, we did favorite Mario parties and then 64 and stuff. What about GameCube? Let's talk about GameCube. What's your favorite GameCube game? Because that is a see, I'm so indecisive. I can never pick one singular answer. I'm always like all over the place. But I'd say like here comes the hate. The hate for what? I never really played too much Star Fox Adventures. I own it, but I never really played it. So, and I never really saw. I don't really care. It's like I never really saw it as a bad Star Fox game. I just never really played a whole lot of it. Like my favorite Star Fox game is the one I'm most nostalgic of is probably 64, even though I'm the most nostalgic for the original. The Assault, I thought Assault was fun too. So N64, I mean not N64, Star Fox wise, I'm all over the place. I like the entire series mostly, but yeah, like GameCube wise, like I'd say my favorite games on the GameCube are probably between Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Tales of Symphonia, Time Splitters 2, Fight for New York, Mario Sunshine's in there a little bit, Wind Waker, WB Day of Reckoning 1. Trying to remember what else I played on it. What's this? And F-Zero GX. See, that's the funny thing about Twilight Princess. I remember playing that on the Wii. I never played it on the GameCube, which is weird because years later I played the Wii U. I have the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild, and then it took me a long time to get. Once I got the Switch, I got the Switch version of Breath of the Wild. But I never played the GameCube version of Twilight Princess, and I always kind of wanted to experience it on the GameCube. Because for me, Wind Waker is the Zelda on GameCube, and I love Wind Waker a lot. It's probably one of my favorite games in the series. That's not my favorite Zelda. With Skyward Sword probably being number 2, and then maybe Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask being number 3. It's a tied spot almost. Wow, 2 hours. I should probably be ending this kind of soon. The sailing does get tedious, but they do fix it in the Wii one, which is weird because I never played it. But they fixed a lot of like the issues with Wind Waker later on, and those issues can get annoying. But the thing is, I experienced them when they had the issues and never played the Wii U version, even though I've always wanted to, and it's like $20. I don't know. There's just something about Wind Waker. It had like a sense of charm to it. Like the music, especially. I love the main theme of Wind Waker. It's like probably one of my favorite Zelda songs of all time. Is the main theme of Wind Waker. There's just something to it, and it's weird because I think I was in the boat when Wind Waker first came out, like the iffy about the change of art style kind of thing. But now it's one of my favorite Zelda art styles, and I love the game a whole heck of a lot. And it's also memorable because around the time I fractured my ankle and I couldn't really do anything but play video games, and that was the game that was out at the time. So yeah, there you go with that. And then Twilight Princess came out, and I like the art style to Twilight Princess, but I also think it's a little too dark. But I love the story with like Midna and everything. So yeah, it's a mixed bag kind of too with me on that. Well, I'm not saying it didn't fit. I'm just saying I wasn't a big fan of it. I like the games having a little more color to it. And they had more color to it with the Wii U version. And again, I never got around to playing the Wii U HD Twilight Princess. But I'm like, if dark style fits it quite well, I'm not saying it didn't fit. I'm just like, I'm not a big fan of the style, is what I'm saying. So when they finally brought out Skyward Sword, I was more of a fan of that because it had like more of like Renaissance, like painting kind of feeling, like really like impressionist art kind of feeling. And I really liked it a lot. So I thought that was an improvement art style wise, and at least art style wise. But I didn't say that Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess art style was bad. I'm just saying I wasn't a huge fan of it. And there are people that are like that. And then that's not a knock against the game. It's just visually, I wasn't a big fan of the Link. The Zelda in that game is really cool. I like the designs of Zelda and Ganondorf, but I didn't really like the design of Link. The wolf transformation stuff was cool. Midna was awesome, but like I said, it's just certain designs of certain characters, and I wasn't a huge fan of the dark art style, which is weird because certain game series out there that are dark like that, I kind of like it, but then I wasn't a huge fan of it in Zelda, even though the game itself was awesome. Just not one of my favorites. But yeah, GameCube wise, def least favorite game. Okay. Hmm. I have games I'm not that big a fan of, but I don't know if I have a number one least favorite game of all time. Do you? Because for me, I mean, there's games I played that I wasn't really a huge fan of. Like, there's games I bought and rented over the years that I'm like, they're okay, but they're not great. And then there's ones that are just like meh kind of thing. I don't know if I ever really hated a game. Mind Jack. That oh, that's the one on PS3, right? Like PS3 360-ish or whatever. I'm trying to remember. That's the one where you control people with their minds, right? I'm trying to remember. I never got around to playing that. I heard a lot of meh things about it and never really played it. I'm trying to think of though some games I'm not a huge fan of that I didn't really like. Um, well, for me, it is because I never really played it. So there you go. I just never thought, saw it out and played it. But yeah, I would just trying to think. Least favorite game. I'd have to probably look at it from each individual system and try to pick one out I'm not a huge fan of. There's game. I'm so indecisive here. I can't really answer the question. Sorry. I mean, I wasn't okay. Let's try to name a few so far. I'm not. Let's talk about games I've actually played on certain systems. I haven't played enough of Switch yet to really kind of say a game I'm not a huge fan of. The Wii U, Zombie U is okay. It's not that great. Uh, the Wii, probably some of the sports games on it, or um, huh. Trying to think. GameCube, I wasn't that big a fan of. I think it's called Adventure Island or something, where you create your own monster kind of stuff. And I and N64 is like Superman 64, and there's that Power Rangers game on it, which was freaking horrible. Time Force, Light Speed Rescue. That game was freaking bad. Uh, Super Nintendo. There's probably some fighting games on Super Nintendo that maybe I enjoyed back then, but then looking back on them now, I'm kind of mad with them. Or racing games. Oh, what's that game called? I like on the N64 when they not N64 the Super Nintendo when they did like the FX chip in this that racing game with the FX chip. It just hurt my eyes so much. I can get used to it for like Star Fox, but then I can't for that game, and it's kind of fun, but the art style just kind of irks me a bit. Oh, and there's a hockey game that's like open ice, Wayne Gretzky or something, or whatever is open ice, and like the way it turns, like the whole FX thing, or it kind of the way it looked was kind of meh. So maybe there's certain games out there that I didn't like the controls or the way the graphics kind of look. Obviously bad gameplay. So it's a mixed bag. I could probably, if I do some research, I probably could do a video on and talk about stuff I really don't like. But I'm sorry, I don't have a specific one in mind. Okay. Okay, you said that your favorite genre was RPG. What's your least favorite genre out there? Because, like I said, my RPG would be like my number one. It's a battle between RPG and fighters. I just really love fighting games like Street Fighter and Tekken, and Soul Calibur, and everything. Soul Calibur 2 is one of my favorite GameCube games as well. Now that I think about it, and then I'd say probably it's a mix between first-person shooters, platformers, and puzzle games, and then strategy in there as well. But I'm trying to think of what would be my least favorite genre. Probably simulation. There's certain simulation games that are fun, racing wise, especially because I do remember back when the original Xbox came out, I did play quite. I rented Forza, and Forza's kind of fun, and the old Need for Speed games were quite fun, as well as Gran Turismo. See, sports games. See, that's the thing though. Like, there's certain sports games I like playing realistically, but there's certain sports games that are freaking boring as all hell when you're playing video games that are realistic and you want to play something that's a little more arcadey. Like basketball, I could play the realistic ones, but I also prefer like NBA Jam and stuff like that. Um, NBA Street. I love playing hockey games, so for me, simulation hockey is fine. Um, Baseball is okay, but I think I need more of an arcadey feel. Madden, I never played too much Madden. Trying to remember what Maddens I played the most. I played Madden 2005 and 6 and 7, I think the most, especially 5. But I never really got too much into it, and that was mostly because it was kind of like a game I could play with like friends and whatnot. It was like a multiplayer thing for me in terms of Madden 05 and 06. But Need for Speed, yeah, I remember playing Need for Speed for was it the Hot Pursuit games. So there was one of those on PlayStation 1 and on PlayStation 2, and then I remember playing a little bit of Underground. And then after, I don't remember playing besides maybe Carbon. I think it was Need for Speed Carbon, the one that came, like the one of the first ones that came out on the Wii. I played that a little bit, but then I fell out of Need for Speed. I really do love Burnout, though. Burnout's probably one of my favorite racing series of all time, besides F Zero and some of the Need for Speed games, Mario Kart, and stuff like that. But yeah, I love Burnout, especially 3. 3 was probably my favorite Burnout. Then probably the one that came after, kind of tied with 2. But yeah, in terms of sports games, yeah, like simulation, it depends on the actual sport, because I can play like Tiger Woods PGA Tour like golf type stuff. At least some of the older ones. Not I never played any of the recent ones. I can play that simulation based, like realistic hockey, maybe some basketball, but I'd rather play like for like baseball arcadey ones, even basketball arcadey ones, tennis and stuff like that, more like arcadey ones. And then in terms of Tony Hawk, like skateboarding stuff, at least back when skateboarding was actually relevant in terms of games, yeah, stuff like Tony Hawk I loved playing, and I played a little bit of skate recently with my cousin, which tries to be a little more realistic, but also not. Like skateboarding was like the older Tony Hawk games were really fun to play, if not for the music, but for the gameplay, especially Underground 1 and Pro Skater 2 and 3, and Underground 2 as well. Okay, it's about 2 hours and 17 minutes. I'm going to give this about another extra 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll end it here for today. Any other questions you have? Any other things you want to discuss? Anything else, favorite wise, least favorite wise, genres, games currently playing, what you're looking, stuff like that? high stakes. Oh, okay. Favorite. So favorite Pokemon game, or you mean like favorite Pokemon, like just Pokemon? Because I'm taking it that you mean Pokemon game. I mean Pokemon specific Pokemon. Um, I would say favorite Pokemon. Oh God. It may be a cliche answer, but I think Blaziken kind of became, yeah, there you go, Blaziken. I think Blaziken became one of my favorite starters, not just starters, but in general Pokemon. So yeah, I think we agree on that. Blaziken, for some reason, Generation 3 when it came out, like stuck with me so much, and that was like I always pick the fire starter for the most part, unless I get two versions of the game. But I always have found a reason, I don't know why, that I stuck with the fire starter. Yes, Blaziken would be cool as DLC, but I just don't know. Like DLC would be cool for Smash, but I mean, it feels like right now the Pokemon they'd pick would be something from Alola, would be something from Generation 7. Because just it's always been that way. They pick the newer generation Pokemon. That's why I feel like an Alolan Pokemon would be on the base roster, and they'd have someone like Generation 8 for DLC, probably because of marketing or something. But yeah, Blaziken would be awesome in Smash, and he's probably my favorite character to play as in Pokken. But yeah, I just always stuck with the Fire Stars, and Blaziken's like the final evolution. It's just stuck out to me. Okay, like let's talk about like Pokemon, like what's like your favorite fire starter and your least favorite fire starter? We can talk about grass and water too, but like what's your favorite fire and least favorite fire starter? Because quite frankly, I would say Torchic to Blaziken's like my favorite, with probably behind it like Cyndaquil and Fennekin. I liked Fennekin. A lot of people don't like Fennekin and don't like its final evolution, like Delphox or whatever. There's like the witchcraft psychic fire fox thing. I don't know. I like Cyndaquil. My least favorite is Chimchar. Actually, I don't know why. I never really got into Chimchar and like Typhlosion and whatnot. Or what am I? Yeah, the Generation. I never really got into Generation 4 starters in general, except for Piplup and whatnot, which is weird because like that was like the only generation I'm not. Or Infernape. I meant Infernape. I don't know. I didn't. There was just something about Chimchar and Fernape I was not that big a fan of for some reason, and it's weird because monkeys are cooler than like pigs and whatnot, but for some reason I like Pig and Emboar a little bit more, and that's like barely because I put it smidge above that. It's like still one of my least favorite fire starters. Like I like every other fire starter besides like the Generation 4 and somewhat 5. Like Charmander, Charizard, Cyndaquil to Typhlosion, Torchic to Blaziken, Fennekin to Delphox, and Litten to Incineroar. But I'm not really that big fan of like Torchic, Chimchar and whatnot. Like Chimchar and Infernape and Emboar, Tepig to Emboar. I don't know. I don't know why. I can't really answer that. I just never really was a big fan of them. I like the newer ones more than them, and a lot of people don't really like. Apparently, the newer. Okay, Persona. I've played 3. I just kind of got stuck in it and never beat it. I've never gone around the 4. I would love to play the earlier ones, and I just started like a while back playing 5. I never played the dancing ones, the spin-off stuff, and the only thing Shin Megami Tensei I ever really played is a bit of the DS1. And I'm trying to remember which one it is. The one with like that space armor guy on the front. And I own Shin Megami Tensei 4. Shin Megami Tensei 4, I own it. See, that's a backlog game. Just remember Shin Megami Tensei 4 on the 3DS. I haven't got around to playing it so far. Like 5, I have. I've played 5 actually in a couple months, but I did start playing 5 like earlier this year. and I love it. It's just this, just trying to jump around my games is kind of a challenge in and of itself. And I'm looking forward to Shin Megami Tensei 5 on the Switch. But yeah, 5 was pretty cool, and 3 was pretty cool. I never got around to playing 4 or the older ones. So yeah. Okay. Another question we can talk about. Okay, let's do this. What's your favorite video game system, like of all time? Like, what's your favorite, maybe top 3 favorite systems of all time, and then maybe your least favorite one, maybe to throw in there. That'd be an interesting topic to talk about, because I'd have to say, in no particular order, my favorite systems are probably PS2, Super Nintendo, and probably the DS. But if we're not including handhelds, probably the GameCube or PlayStation 1. And my least favorite, well, I don't really have a least favorite. I can't really answer that. But I never really played a whole lot of NES. In Genesis, I only play with friends and family. Never played the Dreamcast. Actually, I played demos of Dreamcast games back when it came out. But I never played it, nor owned it. Never played a Saturn at all. The original Xbox, maybe I could say, the original Xbox I liked a lot when I first got it, but then I kind of fell out of that a little bit. And I sold it to my cousin, and he liked it. And I've never bought an Xbox since, even though I played they got a 360, they got an Xbox One. I played the Xbox stuff with them. I'm more of a Nintendo Sony guy. Nintendo PlayStation. Okay, I'm going to basically end this in about 5 minutes. So, any remaining questions, and then whatever, I'll do it next time. I'll do this again in a week or two. I'll do some more. Like I said, I plan on doing this every once in a while, going live, doing other going live things, different topics. Last time I did one, I did this for like an hour with talking about Smash Brothers, just Smash Brothers. This one was trying to be all video game based stuff, and I'll do more of that, especially because it's more of an open general topic. I'm going to eventually try to get into talking about anime, comic books, movies, wrestling, and other little different topics here and there. So yeah, any remaining questions you have before I turn this off in about 4 minutes now? Okay. I'm going to count down now because I'm going to just end it at 2:30. I'm going to do it 1 more minute to go. 1 more minute. I guess I can unplug this and just charge it when I'm done. Let's go back for the last minute and go into this room. You guys can see currently where I'm currently at with this Shantae picture. It's getting there. It's almost done. Just need to more so finish the skin, touch up the arm things and whatnot. The hair especially I need to work on. The background, I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. So yeah, I'm going to end it right here. And basically just say thanks to the few people that came into the stream. So I'm hoping next time we can, go get people on more early, because this time it seems like a lot of the stuff came like an hour after, and I would have loved to do 2.5 hours of all talking, but no one really came in except for a few random people that came in and out. So yeah, this is Sniping is Fun signing out, and I'll see you all later in the next live video. Bye.